everybody, welcome back to Condiment Corner. We've got lots of treats in store for you tonight, and for the very first time, Condiment Corner is going to have a co-chef. This is our good friend, our 14-year-old Naomi Steer-Wood.
Hello.
Hello. And you might remember from a prior video that we actually mentioned Naomi and her sister Sunny because we've cooked with them before. And it was so much fun that we decided that Naomi was going to be our very first co-chef on Condiment Corner. Now, the other treats we've got for you tonight are unbelievable. We are going to be taking these beautiful, beautiful lamb chops, cooking them 3 ways with 3 different sauces. And we're going to show you how to do that in no time at all so that you can share that with your family and friends. And you know how we feel it's so important to cook with kids and also to cook at home and really watch the nutrition. I think this has all the elements. I think it's going to be really good. So let's get started. Naomi, can you help me? The very first dish we're going to make here is going to be the baked lamb chops.
Okay.
So can you just brush some olive oil in there? And in the meantime, I'll take some of the wonderful cranberry jalapeno chutney, which is our favorite product right now. More to come. And we're going to use that just plain for our very first baking dish, because when you bake with a chutney, you end up by having a wonderful, wonderful flavor that gets absorbed by the meat, whatever protein it is, and you also have a chance to make a pan sauce afterwards. Oh, that's good.
Thanks.
That's great. So, why do you like lamb?
I don't know. It's always been my favorite meat. It's savory and kind of chewy. It has a perfect balance.
Well, that's certainly my favorite. Actually, my favorite thing that Michael does is when he takes a leg of lamb out on the grill, and we have it there. Have you ever had that, his grilled lamb?
No, I don't think so.
We could just put that over there. Do you want to put 3 of these in there?
Yes, ma'am.
And then we're going to salt those.
I can do this.
I know, little devils, aren't they? Perfect.
Got it.
There's a salt shaker over there. Why don't you go ahead and salt the lamb chops? You know, salt is so important on these dishes. And because our chutney is a sweet, savory, and also with just a little bit of heat at the end, it really makes a big difference to be able to put some salt on it. So now, what we're going to do is have you put the chutney on top as a sauce. And feel free to just, spread it around.
Chutney.
I know. What do you know about chutney?
I don't think I've ever really had chutney before.
Before we started making it, you mean?
Yeah.
Now you get it all the time. Well, originally...
Forced me to eat it.
Originally it comes from India, and so it was used to cool food down. And I know Indian food is your favorite dish, isn't it?
Well,
That's great. Thanks.
yes.
Okay, we're ready to go in the oven. See how easy that was? So I'll go open the oven and you can bring it over. Thank you. So we're going to cook this at 375 for about 20 minutes, and then we will check it using a thermometer, a meat thermometer, and let it rest. Oh, there we go.
Yay.
So now we are going to prepare our beautiful lamb chops used with our jalapeno chutney, making a glaze. And the cranberry jalapeno chutney also has oranges in it, Granny Smith apple, it has onions, it's low sugar, and it's really yummy. So first of all, we're going to prepare our pan. Now this is a little broiler pan, and we're going to be using actually a very, very small oven tonight. A toaster oven that also has a broil and a convection function on it. And one of the techniques that I learned a long time ago is when you're broiling things, particularly in small spaces, it's a good idea to put some water in the bottom of your broiler pan, because it keeps everything from smoking and spattering and whatever. But we still want to be sure that our meat... Did you know that?
No, I did not. I had no idea.
Do you broil a lot?
Well, yeah, I broiled with my mom, but we've never done that before.
Well, a little tip for the day, huh?
Now we know.
Now we
Learn
know.
something new every day.
That's good. So do you want to just oil this up a little bit so our lamb will not stick on this? And when you broil, you're going to be turning them. And so it's important for us to make sure that both sides are oiled. We'll oil the pan, and then after we put the lamb chops on here, we'll put a little bit of oil on that as well.
Cool.
I think this is yours.
It's mine.
Yes.
Don't touch it.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So we've been having a lot of fun thinking about some new products that we want to have come out. And so Michael's been doing some new recipe development. And I'm not going to do a spoiler here and tell you what they are. All I can say is, wow. They're going to be really, really delicious.
Of course they are.
Now this video we're doing just the week before March begins, and March of course is Women's History Month, and we're very dedicated to that. And so hopefully you'll look at the rest of the newsletter and whatever too. So do you want to put, let's see, 3 chops on there and then salted? Aren't these gorgeous?
They're so pretty.
I know. And they're kind of mellow-sized, right? They're just sort of small there.
Mm-hmm.
So how could a 14-year-old be taller than I am when I'm my age, huh? And I haven't
smaller
shrunk.
than 12-year-olds.
I am?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I'm going to come to your school and figure that out.
No, the 6th grade is probably larger than you are, but then again, the 8th grade is smaller than the 6th grade, so. Our 8th grade class was really small.
Was that by design?
No,
It just happened.
sort of happened.
Now, this is a quarter of a cup of our cranberry jalapeno chutney, put in that bowl. And this is 1/8 of a cup of the same thing you're drinking, which is
Apple cider. It's
exactly
really good, by the way.
So we're going to make a glaze out of this. Here, Naomi, would you just take that little whisk and put the cider in there and mix that up? Perfect. Now, don't you just love that little whisk?
It's so cute.
I know.
I love mini whisks.
And because this is a new kind of ingredient and everything, a combination, we want to be sure that we taste it before we put it on to the meat. So here's a little tasting spoon. Now I really like this, and so did Michael. We'll see what you think.
Yeah, definitely.
That's a winner, huh?
Mm-hmm.
No, I do like that. All right. So let's see. I think it might be better if we used another spoon and then you use this to spread it around. But remember, this is a glaze,
Okay.
so it can drip around.
Mm-hmm.
You've worked with glazes before?
Yeah.
What kind?
Generally, when we're cooking some form of meat with vegetables, we use glazes because we
Great.
want to keep it moist.
That's
It's
great.
no good when it's dry.
And when we turn it over, then what we'll do is use the rest of the glaze on the other side, and we'll salt it. So that'll be great. So right now we're just kind of waiting for the little oven to heat up. We're preheating it. So let's have a toast to cooks everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we can go ahead and put this in the oven. I've got to be really careful because remember it's got water in the bottom. Can you open that for me?
Yes, I can.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Now this is set on broiled. It's a small oven, and what we're going to do is cook it about 8 minutes, and when that goes off, then we'll be able to turn it over, put the rest of the glaze, let's put that over by there actually, thanks. And we'll be ready to go.
Okay.
All right, so on to the next step. Hi, here we are, ready for the number 3 dish. Look at these lamb chops. So the next technique that we're going to show you is how to use some herbs as a rub for the lamb chops, and then later we'll be adding the chutney after we pan fry them covering them and teaching you how to make a really, really simple pan sauce. All of these dishes we showed you tonight can be ready within about 30 minutes. So there really isn't an excuse to go through a drive-through, is there?
Not at all.
So, have you ever used a mortar and pestle?
No. I think I did one time because I wanted to try mashing a banana in it, but...
Oh, well, usually it's for dried goods,
Yeah.
you know?
I figured that out afterwards. I was like 7, okay?
Oh, well, that still was pretty good. So anyway, we've got some lovely rosemary here. It's dried rosemary. And we'll just take about a tablespoon of that, which is about like that. And of course, if you guys really like to measure, feel free to use a measuring spoon. But we just kind of wing it, you know. We know what size our hands are. And how about you do the thyme, about the same amount. Oh, that smells good. Do you like that? Now, when you put it in here, and now what you're going to do is use the mortar and pestle to grind it up. But I'll tell you a secret, if you don't have a mortar and pestle, a lot of times I just put both of them between my hands and go like this, and it breaks up the dried herbs and creates that. But I thought it might be fun for you to use a new piece of equipment.
fun.
Do you like that?
Yes.
So, is that going pretty well for you?
Yeah.
Oh!
You can smell it. Yeah.
I'm going to salt these. We'll reverse roles this time. And now let's just take some pinches of that and evenly put it all over. I'll start the first one kind of like this. Okay. And we have an oiled pan, so we didn't really oil the meat. I think we can put a little more on that. And this is going to blend nicely with the oil. Like it?
Really good. Yeah.
That's great. So we're going to put these into a hot pan that has grapeseed oil in it.
Okay.
Before that, let's just let this settle down a little bit. Tell me about why you like to cook and who you cook for.
I cook generally for my family. I like to cook. I don't know. It's just fun, and it's a good bonding experience. I like teaching my friends how to cook. And my mom and ML are mainly the people that taught me how to cook, so it's a really great kind of bonding experience to do with the people you love. And it's really gratifying when you finish cooking a good meal and you get to sit down and eat it, and it's delicious, and you're like, I made that! This is mine!
Well, I think it's probably about time, for us to put these little chops in the hot pan.
Great!
What do you think?
I think that's a wonderful idea.
Let me go check the heat of it over here. Oh, yes, absolutely.
Sweet.
Now you'll notice that this has started. So here we have some grapeseed oil that we have heated to the point of shimmering here in the pan. Grapeseed oil is a really interesting ingredient to cook with, especially for frying, because grapeseed oil, besides being pretty healthy for you, also has the most heat tolerance. Right now, Naomi is going to add our herbed lamb chops to the pan, and we are going to sear them on both sides. Just batter. Now what we need to do is add the herbs on this side. Wow.
It smells so good.
It's great. Sometimes what we do is before we add herbs to our food, we actually roast them, we toast them, and it brings out the flavor. And we didn't do it tonight because we're pretty much doing that before, but wow, You just have a little dry pan, and you add your herbs to it, and just for like 15 seconds, I'll put them in there. Oh my gosh, it's really magnificent. So we'll let these brown up, and then in just a minute or so, we'll go ahead and turn them over. Oh, so I think it's time to turn these over.
Yes, ma'am.
So just let these brown up more on the other side. And then what we're going to do is add the chutney, lower the heat, and cover it. Take a look there. Oh wow, that looks really good. Yeah. Why don't you just take about a tablespoon of this and put it on top of each of the lamb chops. That looks great. Now I turned this down to low, so we'll start to get all of this, spatter and everything. And now what we're going to do is cover this and let all of the juices come out. And we'll see what that looks like here in a few minutes. Okay?
Yay!
So Naomi just added a couple more pinches of our herb mixture in here, and we're getting a really nice boil off of it. Now it could be a lot drier, but this is the point at which we want to add some extra fluid, because the fluid is going to form the pan sauce. Now we used this thermometer, a meat thermometer, which is a really great tool to have to test just how much the lamb chops had cooked and about how far they have to go. And usually you want your lamb at about 145 degrees. Oh, there we are, 146, 148. Looks perfect to me. Now those of you who like to cook with wine, instead of just water, you could also deglaze the pan with wine. The other thing that you can do is to take some additional water and keep cooking it down a little bit and increase the heat, just so that you'll get that nice pan sauce. The meat is done, so you're not doing this to cook the meat anymore. You're just doing it to make sure that you've got a nice pan sauce. So why don't we just take a little whisk here and make sure that the drippings from the meat and the herbs and the chutney are all blending together. Naomi, why don't you get a tasting spoon for us and see if we need to adjust any of the seasonings here. Oh, this is coming out great. It really smells good. I'm so happy we're doing this, because tonight you've been able to learn 3 techniques, 3 different sauces, and here we go. I'm going to turn this off right now. Let me taste. We're going to try really hard not to burn our tongues. Why aren't you the taster tonight? What do you think?
I loved it.
That's great. What do you like about it?
It has a lovely mix of the spices between the sweet and the savory and the salty.
Now I thought what I'd do, because I do this a lot of times at the end of sauces, is add a little bit of butter. So
Okay.
I'll do that after we carry it over for serving. Hey Naomi, bring them over.
Yes, ma'am.
We're ready for the third piece. Now we made a little pan sauce here, so in order to make a little silky, I know you love the taste already, We're going to take just about, what would you say, a teaspoon or so of
Stick.
this. Do you want to just try and whisk that in there? Because it's still hot, so the butter will all melt. It'll make it really yummy. Very good. Yeah. That's great. Because we're going to be spooning the pan sauce over after we put it on our dinner plates. So tonight you get for dinner lamb on lamb on lamb. I think.
Yes. Lovely. I love it. It's great.
We might end up by actually having maybe, what do you think, some broccoli or some quinoa or something with this. That looks great. Thanks. So let's put our third piece on here. So here we've got the baked just with cranberry jalapeno chutney.
The mini baby oven.
It was the broiled that had the glaze that you made out of apple cider and cranberry jalapeno chutney. And then we had the pan fried with a pan sauce using 2 herbs this time, rosemary and thyme. Fried, seared on both sides. And then towards the end, chutney covered. And then we deglazed the pan. We can use wine, we can use water, whatever. And then we finished it off with a little butter. So
everybody loves butter.
everybody loves butter. So this is what the 3 different techniques and 3 different sauces look like when you've completed them. I'm really proud of us. What do you think?
I think they're pretty. And they smell good too. You can't smell it because you're through a camera. But it does smell good.
So, do you think we ought to have a taste?
Oh, definitely.
All right. Let's cut into these and see what they're like. This is my favorite part, actually. Is when we get to taste our food. And, of course, we like our lamb, rare, medium rare. We want to be sure that it's cooked, but we just think the flavor's better. But, I've run into some people that really like to have their lamb a lot more cooked. And in Indian food, I've noticed they seem to always overcook for me, for my taste. But look at this. Look at that. That is a perfect medium, don't you think?
Yeah, it's
Do you think
gorgeous.
it's medium, or do you think it's medium rare?
I think it's probably more medium.
Okay. Well, go ahead and taste that. Tell me what you think.
Certainly will. Wow.
I hope that's a good wow.
No, it's bad wow. I hate it. It's horrible.
So don't take my piece. All right.
No
Do you want
promises.
to taste the next one?
It's so good.
So are we going to have like this new metric, the wow thing, And now, of course, poor child, you're going to have to taste the last one too.
Really? You're making me eat more of it?
Oh,
Why?
I know. This is like child abuse, isn't it? So, do you have a favorite?
Definitely with the one with the rosemary and thyme.
Oh, the last one. Okay, the pan fried? Yeah, a lot of times people don't think about doing it that way. Well, this has been great fun.
Yes, it has.
Thank you. Would you like to come back again as a guest chef?
Never.
Why don't I
This has
believe
been a
it?
horrible experience.
You're such a teenager. Woo!
Really?
Well, anyway, all you folks out there, I hope you've enjoyed this. We've just had a ball. So come back to Condiment Corner, and in the meantime, stay tasty.